Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on such short notice for this international conference for support to Lebanon and Beirut. So this commitment is a commitment we owe to the Lebanese. A few days ago I was in Beirut where I saw the tragedies of the 4th of August tragedy with my own eyes. I would like to thank the people, President Jean-Michel and the President of the Arab League. Beirut was already a city that was experiencing many difficulties, but now it's been hit at its very heart, and its people is angry and is craving reconstruction and recovery. And so I'd like to thank all those who are in the field, healing the wounded and facing the direct consequences of the tragedy. We want to be at the side of the Lebanese people, which is why I would like to recognize the presence of President Trump, who wanted to be present in person despite the time difference. We've had a chance to talk together a few days ago, but we have other heads of states with us by video feed to bring their support. The United Nations have very clearly established what the needs are in the document that you've received. The needs are health, to start with. Several hospitals and facilities have been destroyed, and we need to respond to these immediate needs. Also, food security. Reserves have been destroyed, and we need to make sure that food security is ensured as a matter of emergency. Then schools. A lot of schools have been destroyed, and we must make sure that children can go back to school as soon as possible. Fourth, over 300,000 people don't have a house anymore. We need to assist them immediately with emergency building projects and very concrete needs. We're talking about a country which, just like Jordan, Turkey, and I would like to recognize the King of Jordan, who is with us. Those are countries that have experienced migration-related crisis at a very deep level these past few years. So we need to pool our means so that in the few days and weeks we can respond to the needs of the population in Beirut. We can do that together with the coordination of the United Nations in the field, responding to what the agencies in the field are telling us, and by pooling the human and material resources that we have and that we've already started mobilizing. We know that France has already sent aircraft. We have 2 vessels that are on their way. A number of things have been done. And I know that many of you, in fact, have organized several short-term responses as well. Today's objective is to act quickly and effectively, coordinate our support in the field so that it goes as effectively as possible to the Lebanese people. This offer also includes support to an impartial, credible and independent inquiry into the causes of the catastrophe that happened on the 4th of August. This is a legitimate demand by the Lebanese people. It's a matter of trust, and we have the resources. They must be mobilized. And I'd like to thank all of them who will respond to the requests made by Lebanese authorities. Today, I'm sure that we will be sending a very clear message of support to Lebanon and our Lebanese friends, telling them that we are here together to help them face the consequences of the tragedy. As I told you, President Trump is mobilized. Over 15 heads of state and government. Numerous ministers, heads of state couldn't be with us today, but other countries like Turkey, who's also not present today, have been requested to offer help, and I'm sure they will. Even though geopolitical conditions are difficult. But at the end of the day, what we need to organize is a conference of unity. Despite divergences, everybody needs to come to the rescue and support of Lebanon and its people. This help that we're giving to the Lebanese people and its and those in charge of the country is not, however, the be-all and end-all. We need this support, of course, with strong monitoring by the UN, who have defined the needs and will help us organize actions in the field with the support of the World Bank, which I would like to also salute, and with support by the IMF. We need to make sure that all stakeholders, public, private, NGOs, civil society, get this support as soon as possible and as effectively as possible. But we also know that this tragedy has struck a country which for the past months has been through a very deep political and economic crisis, which has only been getting worse. This tragedy has marked a high point in this terrible crisis. It has led the Lebanese population to request from its government reforms that will make recovery possible, and without which recovery won't be possible. I told that to Michel Aoun. Public procurement, auditing the government and the central bank, involving the IMF, involving other international actors, all of that is necessary. The Lebanese people is free, proud and sovereign, and it is up to the authorities in the country to act so that the country doesn't collapse and to meet the aspirations, the legitimate aspirations expressed by the Lebanese people in the streets of Beirut. Together, we need to make sure that violence and chaos do not prevail. Now, those who are interested in furthering chaos and violence are the powers that want to destabilize the peace and stability of Lebanon and the whole region, which is why I think that at this time and in the next few days, we're going to be looking at a situation where Lebanon, the very future of Lebanon, will be at stake. But I will not dwell on this any longer. I would like to give the floor to Amina Mohammed, the Vice Secretary General of the United Nations.